Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. I probably, like many of you, was a Disney kid growing up. I had so many of the VHSs, I couldn't even tell you how many of those movies we watched. We loved watching a lot of the Disney shows, and even some of the specials they put out on like ABC and stuff like that with a lot of the family-friendly movies were absolutely great. I remember one of the ones that I always ended up loving was the Brandy version of Cinderella that they did back in the 90s with like Queen Latifah. I thought that was a lot of fun. I thought that was really cool because I was watching the Brandy show at the same time over on like UPN or whatever channel it was on back in the 90s and stuff like that. It was great. It was a great time for a lot of eras. It was great stuff. And one of those great things that came out of the 90s and the late 90s and the early 2000s as well was a television show called Recess, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, a team of antagonists out there on the playground going through all kinds of crazy adventures, of course, dealing with the crazy teacher out there constantly trying to ruin all of the fun, and of course, the school snitch out there that we all know, that we've all saw around, who was trying to butter themselves up to the teacher by ratting out all the kids doing all of the naughty things out there. Well, boys and girls, that if you didn't know, or maybe you'd forgotten since your childhood, this is a Disney property. This is a Disney production. And because we know that the Walt Disney Company is completely and totally out of any kind of original ideas whatsoever, reboots, remakes, sequels, and continuations are something that they are constantly churning out right now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our dear sweet Recess may be getting that exact same treatment because there has been a leaked Bible that has come out now, which, if you don't know what they mean by a Bible in the industry out there, it's essentially a full-blown description of what all of your characters will be, where the stories kind of got to go, what their backstories are, who their history is. It really gives you a good idea of what the characters are, so that way it gives you continuity, something that modern Hollywood definitely does not have in the majority in any way, shape, or form. But that being said, this is how things are traditionally supposed to be done. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've gotten access to that Bible, and what all it says will probably shock, horrify you, and honestly probably not come as any general surprise whatsoever in the modern era. And we might even go, well, color us shocked actually at the end of the day, because ladies and gentlemen, according to this rumor, these leaks out there, and remember, as always, do take these leaks, these rumors with a grain of salt, because as all things, this has not been verified, this has not been confirmed, and at the end of the day, the only way we'll ever know for sure is when Disney actually decides to put this out there on their Disney Channel or their Disney streaming service. So, boys and girls, the headline: alleged pitch for Disney Recess's reboot reveals proposed series would focus on girl boss daughter of Spinelli and Vince. Have Gus come out as transgender. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, color us shocked there. Would any of this surprise anybody in the modern era? Of course, like I said, this is rumor, so take this with a grain of salt. We don't know exactly where this leak came from as of yet, or if it could be even confirmed in any way, shape, or form. But at the end of the day, would any of this surprise us? No, not at all in any way, shape, or form. So we're going to go in and we're going to dive deep into see how much of a disastrous dumpster fire this reboot could end up being, potentially being. But before we check out this wonderful article from Bounding into Comics, if you do enjoy our content, whether you're watching the live or watching the video that we cut out of this for later, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, or follow if you have not already, and make sure you leave us a comment down below and let us know all of your good memories about Recess and how unhappy or possibly excited, if you're one of those people out there, about what potentially may be a reboot or, I guess, a continuation of the Recess story out there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, from Bounding into Comics by our dear sweet Spencer over there, an alleged pitch Bible for a potential reboot of Disney's Recess has leaked online. And unfortunately, the proposal is filled to the brim with the most played out identity politics focused story tropes one can possibly imagine. Color us shocked there. Created by Rugrats and Lloyd and space writers Joe, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name, and Paul Germain, the original Recess followed the adventures of 6 elementary school friends: the fast-talking TJ Detweller, sports aficionado Vince Lesueur, super nerd Gretch Grundle, tomboy Ashley Spinelli, awkward new kid Gus Griswold, and the large and lovable Mikey Blumberg, as they navigate the social ins and outs of their school's playground and their eccentric classmates. A part of Disney's animated roster from 1997 to 2003, Recess ran for a total of 65 episodes, 1 theatrical film, 3 direct-video adventures, and a cameo crossover in Lilo and Stitch, the series, where the bell finally rang and its colorful cast were recalled back to the classroom. However, before the aforementioned leaked pitch Bible, it seems another round of Recess may possibly be in the works. Dated June 3rd, 2022, and penned by Ansoboli and Germain themselves, the Bible details the creators' plan for Recess's next bell, a potential follow-up series created by specifically for a contemporary audience. Oh, boys and girls, we know exactly what that means, don't we? And it sounds like the original creators have absolutely guzzled down like any single homosexual male on a Friday night at a gay bar would do. He's guzzled down the woke Kool-Aid nonstop. Both of them have, and now they're going to update and make it for a contemporary audience, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, as always, you do have to be very, very, very worried sometimes when original creators are involved, because many of them, as we've seen in the modern era, have completely and totally lost their mind, guzzled down the woke Kool-Aid like they were a desperate, lonely boy at a gay bar on a Friday night. And now they've let it completely and totally consume them. So what are their ideas for Recess Next Bell? Well, here we go. The original show was about sticking together no matter what, fighting the man, finding a rational balance when conformity and individuality, and getting through tough times with a little help from your friends. And we know these time-tested themes are just as relevant today in 2023. In today's world of global warming, Me Too, Black Lives Matter, and LGBTQ rights, modern kids are craving heroes who look like them, have the same issues, and are willing to take action. They need and want role models who stand up for their friends, figure out what's right and wrong, and defend the little guy getting into good trouble, in the words of John Lewis, to make the world a better place. Oh, yes, boys and girls, we are going to drown what should be a children's show meant for kids with nothing more than a bunch of identity politics. We will literally drown you in it. And what do you want about every episode is about all of the bigotry out there in the world, and how the Recess kids will make it all better by educating those bigoted adults out there. Because, of course, just like our dear sweet B.O., former President B.O. said to a room full of high school students, well, there's just certain things that your parents don't know, and you're going to have to educate them on it. Oh, wow. It's almost like all of this is part of some giant ideology that's infecting every aspect of things. Weird. According to the Pitch Bible, rather than focusing on the original gang, Recess's Next Bell would instead follow a new generation of kids as they explored the same playground TJ and crew did in their youth. To this end, the series' principal cast would be Ruby, the fearless leader, the daughter of Spinelli and Vince from the old Recess gang. Ruby is super confident, biracial kid. As leader of the new, which I don't have a problem with, I'm a biracial kid. As leader of the new Recess gang, Ruby gets her strength and toughness from her mom. Oh, her strength and her toughness from her mom. Okay. And her sense of style and cool from her dad. Now, don't take this the wrong way. I'm not saying dads can't be cool and have a sense of fashion. I'm not saying moms can't be strong and be tough. What I'm saying is this not a complete and total flip from the traditional gender roles? Aren't the women supposed to be the ones obsessed with the fashion and looking cool and being amazing? Or the guys are supposed to be the strong, stoic types who are there with all the strength and the dexterity and the ability to do things right? Oh, yes, but we simply can't have that. Now, can we, boys and girls? Ruby may look cute, but she's tough as nails with tons of energy and chutzpah, always willing to take on the man. When she wants something, she goes for it. Consequences be damned. Oh, joy. And yes, as the original series fans may have realized from that description, Next Bell would have seen TJ and Spinelli's broken up in the name of subverted expectations, but more on that lately. Oh, joy. Monhutto, the classic clown, a funny boys, Latino kid. Ruby's Butch, the grace of her, the Sundance to Ruby's Butch, the grace to her will, a smooth talker and a practical joker. They both snuck off to the toy box, recognized a kindred spirit, yada, yada, yada. The daredevil, blissful open smile, crazy stunts, master disguise Simone, Third Street School's drama queen, costume design, the brains, a quiet African-American kid who dresses for utility, knows a little bit about everything. However, though the series would focus primarily on this new group of friends, the original creators teased that this series progress, we will slowly reveal that what happened to the original characters, surprising our old fans and subverting their expectations, as we reveal who our old gang have grown up to be. Unfortunately, per subsequently provided profiles of their older selves, it seems like the years would have to be less kind to the roughly half of the original gang's members, including TJ. Fans of the original show may be surprised to learn that our righteous leader TJ, who was an idealistic rebel who, when he was 9, has turned into a disillusioned, selfish adult who only cares about money and self-gratification. Sound familiar, anyone? But TJ's journey mirrors many of our adult fans' real lives and experiences, and TJ will regain his idealism over the course of the series. Oh, yes, a broken man. Indiana Jones, anyone? Mikey, poetic plus-size Mikey, becomes the big celebrity of the gang, although surprisingly, it takes the others a long time to track him down. After high school, Mikey pursued his musical career. Juilliard, 25, became a world-renowned baritone, blew the world away, yada, yada, yada. His inner spirituality, dropped out of the celebrity rat race, became a highly respected guru named Yogi Mike, TMZ Classical Edition. The gang will find a surprisingly visionary look. Gus, small but brave. Gus' life's journey, most surprised of all, didn't start that way. Gus follows father's footsteps, joining the army. Oh my God. Here we go. Here we go. Gus, small but brave. Gus Griswold's life journey is the most surprising of all. Although it didn't start out that way. After college, Gus followed his father's footsteps, joining the army, and quickly moved up the ranks, promoted for his brains, loyalty, and courage. By the time Gus was 25, he had become the youngest lieutenant colonel in the modern army. Literally impossible. But he knew something wasn't right, that he wasn't being true to his inner self. So Gus made a change, a big change, a change that blew the lid off the military. After transitioning, the person once known as Gus had become her true self, Lieutenant Colonel Nikki Griswold. There you go, boys and girls. Good old Gus whacks off his willy, swallows a bunch of pills, and becomes Nikki. Ladies and gentlemen, God forbid the weak little nerdy kid grow up to be a strong hero like Captain America. No, 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 no. No, no, we can't have that, ladies and gentlemen. Not without removing everything that makes him a man. Now can we? Holy good God in heaven. At first, there was a movement to drum Nikki out of the army, as there should be for every one of these freaks. But when Time and Newsweek both put him on their covers, Lieutenant Colonel Nikki Griswold became the face of the new army. But the challenges weren't over yet. First, Nikki had to face her own truth. Then the army had to come around. But now Nikki has to face her family and friends. And that might prove to be the biggest battle this soldier has yet to fight. Jesus. Spinelli's now become a lesbian. She did, however, meet a bunch of cool lesbians who were forming a neo-punk guild. So Spinelli quit art school and became their lead singer. Two of them hung out for a couple of weeks until TJ got too serious because she was on her own journey of self-discovery. Spinelli wasn't into guys at that point. She tried to let her TJ down easy, but he didn't take it well, riding off into anger in his Harley. But their reunion would kill with something Spinelli, desire to fight the good fight, to make the world a better place. Oh my God, Spinelli became a cop. She and Vince really fell in love. They got pregnant, got married, and got Ruby. Oh my God. So she had a most charming, athletic of the group. Vince was also the smartest, became sports casual, but the biggest role of Vince was to play with Spinelli was to become a parent, getting married. Gretchen, everyone knew the brilliant but clumsy Gretchen would grow up to be sort of super genius, a scientist. Well, no one but Spinelli, that is. She grew up to be gorgeous. Turns out Gretchen had a very successful career at NASA. I mean, Jesus. It's got to be representation. I'm just not going to keep going on because this is just going to go on forever and ever and ever. And it's just like, holy God. I mean, boys and girls, would it surprise anybody, even in the slightest whatsoever, to see that this is going to actually happen? This is going to come to fruition. This is going to be completely and totally exactly what they would do. Yes, in a time and era where every single modern reboot, retelling, remanufacturing, continuation, whatever kind of absolute abominations they're doing to some of your most beloved stories, IPs, and characters out there, ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly spot on. And it sounds like the original creators have completely and totally guzzled down whole swallow, balls and all, of the woke Kool-Aid, and they are going to spout this out and destroy any hope you ever had of enjoying your recess characters out there. Boys and girls, go out there, find a way to get a hold of the original episodes, go out there and enjoy them with your kids, and do not let them anywhere near anything modern Disney, because this is the exact same kind of nonsense and BS we will continue to get from them going forward. And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, nothing is going to change at the House of the Mouse until they go completely and totally bankrupt.